when I woke up this morning over here, I woke up and there was a beautiful moon in the sky. I posted a story on Instagram to say I'm going live at 12:30 p.m. UK time. And the picture does not capture anything near how beautiful that experience was. There's huge moon in the sky, right? And the sea was so still. The sea was so still, so it was reflecting the moon perfectly. And it reminded me of, an analogy or a metaphor that moon and the sea and the direct reflection is the perfect example of our experience of being human. If you imagine the moon being the light of consciousness or intelligence, some people may call it God or awareness or being, and you imagine that we are the ocean, right? We are the ocean that when we are still, we reflect back perfectly the image of the moon, i.e. the light of consciousness, the light of awareness. Right? When we are still and we're quiet, we reflect it back. And so we are made in the image of that beautiful light of awareness, that light of consciousness, right? But when the seas are choppy, i.e. when the world is noisy and the seas are choppy and the waves are coming and the waves represent our thoughts, then the light within us, i.e. the reflection of the moon, is distorted. And so it doesn't show up quite as clearly as it could. And that's like us. When the world gets noisy, when the sea gets choppy, we're in a choppy sea at the moment. We're in a choppy sea at the moment with lockdown and homeschooling and all of the things, we're fearful of one another right now. We're unsure how to connect. So the seas are choppy, and what happens in that moment is the waves, the choppiness distorts the truth of our nature. And so sometimes we behave and we act and we think in ways that don't really represent and reflect the truth of our nature. And that's okay. That's okay, because we know that when we get quiet again, when we still the mind, when we let the waves settle and the noise chill, the reflection of that pure essence of who you are still remains. And that is a beautiful thing. I'm here to remind you just how beautiful, how whole, how complete, how connected you are, how unique you are. We all reflect that moon back in our own unique way. And that is the beauty of this experience of being human. I'm here to remind you of that. That you are an incredible human being, but beyond that, you are a soul. There is something in you so beautiful, waiting to be reflected back to the world. And at times, we forget that. We get caught up believing that we're the waves versus the ocean. So, this is today's lesson, that you are not your thoughts, that beyond your thoughts there is an infinite awareness which describes who you are. That awareness is what you would describe as I am. That awareness is something that can't be changed, can't be distorted, can't be affected, and will continue to remain as your true nature, even beyond your time on this physical realm as a human being. And it's also the same awareness that creates an undeniable connection between us all as human beings and every living thing on this planet. I know someone just said you can hear the noises. You may get a lot of bird noises and howler monkeys in the background, so let's just embrace them. But that awareness that describes you and I is the same awareness in everything and everyone, and that is the beauty of this experience, guys. We are all one. And it sounds like a spiritual cliche. I remember I used to hear that and think, what does that even mean? I know what it means now. We are interconnected. We live in an interdependent universe where awareness, being, innate intelligence, consciousness is fundamentally creating everything and in everything, including you and me and everyone else. So how do we get there? How do we remind ourselves? Well, having conversations like this, And if this doesn't make sense, please stay with it. It never made any sense to me when I started on this journey. I used to sit and listen to teachers and watch videos, of Muji and Eckhart Tolle and Rupert Spira, and I would think, what are they talking about? But I knew that there was a truth in there. And so I would continue to listen. And then I would have insights. And I would have moments beyond my thought where I felt it. It felt true to me. So if this doesn't make sense, or if you find yourself in the process of agreeing or disagreeing with me, I'm going to encourage you to go beyond that. To listen to the energy and the essence of my words and what I'm speaking. And go beyond the personal thinking mind if you can.